I thought I'd do this video outside today, since, it's really nice today. Anyway, I want to give my 2 cents on a subject that's probably been done to death, you know? And that's the evolution creation debate, It's mostly been discussed a lot and all that stuff. Here's my 2 cents on it. I honestly do not think it matters whether or not evolution is true. The reason I think that is because science is not really an essential part of the Christian doctrine whatsoever, And because of that, I think the evolution creation debate is dead, It's not because of scientific reasons. But it's because of theological reasons. Simply because science is not an essential part of our main doctrine, of the essentials. You know what I'm saying? Many Christians, such as scientist Francis Collins, does not have a problem with evolution. There are many Christians out there who do not have a problem with evolution. Many people, such as myself, find it annoying when people try to use evolution as a way to try and disprove religion or God or whatever, or even the supernatural. It's so annoying. I know there are many, things like evolution, intelligent design, or creationism are not an essential part of our Christian doctrine. Those are disputed parts that don't make up the essentials of our faith. I think when people, especially Christians, I see this a lot with Christians. When they try to do that, it undermines the Christian cause. It undermines the faith. It makes people who are not Christians look at Christians and make it look like they are stupid. And that's really horrible. I hate that. I have a major problem with people who try to use evolution as a way to try to disprove God or try to make Christianity irrelevant. Because honestly, evolution, I don't have a problem with it. I honestly do not have a problem with it. I'm not an expert on science because science is not my specialties. If I were to start making videos related to science, I would look like an idiot because I would not know what the hell I'm talking about. Simply because science is not my specialties. If you were to ask me how many protons are in a whatever, I would go, what? Because I wouldn't know what you're talking about. But if you were to ask me what the difference between foreshadowing and twist and ending of writing, or how to develop characters in a short story, I'd be able to answer you easily. Because science is not my specialty. Writing, literature is my specialty. Okay? It all comes down to that. I remember last semester, I took marine biology. That class was a nightmare because it was so boring. I'm not a science person. Okay? I was so glad when I got my science requirements, general ed science requirements out of the way. I was so happy because I find science boring. And all that, science is, and because of that, it doesn't make an essential part of our doctrine. So I don't have to worry about knowing a lot about science. I don't have to worry about being an expert on science because being an expert on science is not essential to my faith. It's not essential to my beliefs. Because science, by its very nature, does not deal with the supernatural. Is not concerned whatsoever with the existence or non-existence of a deity or anything spiritual. That's why I find it annoying. I'm going to wrap this video up by addressing two groups: atheists and my fellow Christians. To atheists, evolution, even if it is true, it does not whatsoever pose a threat to Christianity or the existence of God. There are many people, particularly Christians, who do have a problem with evolution scientifically. But it does not mean whatsoever that undermines Christianity or religion in general. In fact, if an atheist were to try to come up to me and use evolution as an argument against the existence of God, I would just laugh in their face. I would go, whatever. What are you trying to prove? Because evolution does not pose a threat to Christianity. Evolution, as an argument against religion, is not a compelling argument whatsoever. To me, it's a dead argument. It's dead, buried, in the water, needs to be gotten rid of. It's a terrible argument. It does not work. It needs to be abandoned. And to my fellow Christians, I say to you this. If you're watching this, I want you to think of this. This message should be more towards for you. I strongly insist, that we become more geared toward preaching the gospel than trying to preach about whether or not creationism is true or not, or any of that stuff. It should not matter whatsoever if creationism itself is true, whether Genesis is literally true. We shouldn't worry about that. That's not an essential part of our doctrine. We should be more. We shouldn't be. What should matter is not the origin of species or the science of evolution or whatever that stuff. What should matter are the books of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Okay, those are the essentials. Not creationism, not evolution, not intelligence, not whatever. Not science. Now that doesn't mean that science is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's. I'm not arguing that that the Bible doesn't purport scientific truths. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is science does not pose a threat to Christianity, nor is it a central part of our doctrine. We need to remember that, because if we try to make science an essential part of our doctrine, when the Bible can be interpreted any way we want in terms of the non-essentials, we make ourselves look foolish. The bottom line is, whatever your views on science is, whether you're a Christian or not, this whole evolution creation debate is dead. Is dead in the water. It does not make sense. We should not use science to dictate our theology. We should use theology to dictate our theology. And for that reason alone, the evolution creation debate is dead. Thank you for watching.